A huge shout out to the overthinkers.
An overthinker. He watches the show.
To the overthinkers, shout out Buffet too.
All about Faith, this is Parker, yeah. Thank you, overthinkers.
Keep inspiring the next generation.
Shout out to the overthinkers. Thando kuphela. Much love.
To my overthinkers, mamela ubuchopho ngeke buphume buyakhula nizinja nikhokho yazini as overthink siya overachieve.
I'm stealing that. I've stolen that one. I've stolen it.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the show. My name is George Mokwena, and this, of course, is the Overthinking Football Show. A place where we can speak about football, about local football, about things that are happening within the PSL, within African football. And every now and then we might go overseas. Guys, very eventful yesterday. So we're going to cover a couple of things today. I'm going to give a bulk of the time to the Mamelodi Sundowns game, but I also want to touch on Orlando Pirates and on Kaizer Chiefs going into the weekend and coming from the weekend that we had, since we haven't really had time to dissect where those teams are. So that is what we're going to do today. If you're joining me and you want to be part of my panels, it's an interactive show. You can add your voice to the show live and direct. If you're watching on YouTube, to do that, you have to join me on TikTok. And when you get on TikTok, you have to follow me. And then when you follow me, there's a button that will appear at the bottom of the screen that says multi-guest. Click on that button. I'll let you in. And you speak to me and everybody else live. This is a very interactive show. Now, the show is on every Monday to Thursday at 7 p.m. And then on Fridays at 12:30. And if one of the big three is playing, or all of the big three are playing, Kaizer Chiefs, Pirates, and Mamelodi Sundowns, we are here for watch-alongs for those games, and we do speak about those games live. For example, we will be live on Saturday, on the final day of the league. I will be here. We will talk about the games that are happening, and I'll ask you guys to let me know how you feel and how you're seeing those games. Guys, I would really love 15,000 likes. So give me 15,000 likes today. Just tap the screen. It's free. Nama gift, guys. Kalama rose nyana, something just to keep going. You guys have no idea how much those things help, man. So send them a rose, send them a gift, send them a train, send them a TikTok, all of those things. It really does help. And I'm gonna ask. Today I'm gonna be strict. I wanna let you guys go sometimes. Today I'm gonna be strict. I'm gonna ask everybody to try keep it at 2 minutes. We're going to be 2 minutes for everybody so that we can get as many people in and we can speak about what we need to speak about. In this first round, when we speak about the game yesterday, I'm going to ask you for your general thoughts. Then I'm going to ask you as well about what you think about something. I'll ask a question and we'll go from there. Also, getting straight into the game, just so that we don't go too long. Last night, TS Galaxy played Mamelodi Sundowns. And in El Presico, they had the press conference derby. The one where the two coaches really hate each other. And while they've controlled their feelings for a very long time, yesterday it spilled over. Mamelodi Sundowns, of course, played TS Galaxy 1-1. TS Galaxy had 10 shots on goal, 6 on target. Mamelodi Sundowns had 13 shots on goal, only 3 on target, but had the bulk of the possession with 71%, if I'm not mistaken. Then they made 465 passes, as opposed to TS Galaxy's 193. But the twist came when Upuso Ditejane, otherwise known as the ball boy, the man who left the Kaizer Chiefs because he wasn't getting game time, had his contract broken, terminated, and went on over to TS Galaxy, broke the deadline in the 78th minute. And in the 78th minute, those guys felt as though, you know, they had won everything. They celebrated. They celebrated like there was no tomorrow. See, Ramovic was jumping into the fans. They did a whole choreographed thing at the corner. But what they forgot is that they were playing a Mamelodi Sundowns team that necessarily doesn't give up and also scored a lot of late goals. And after scoring that goal, it only took, 7 minutes? Before Mamelodi Sundowns was able to equalize through Upita Shalulile after a period of sustained pressure. Now, what this game taught me, like I said yesterday, is that one, there are weaknesses that you can exploit in Mamelodi Sundowns' game. It doesn't mean that you'll win the game. But what we saw yesterday was that TS Galaxy came with a plan and actually could have gotten something out of that game, but they got too emotional. The emotions took advantage of them, and they found themselves still celebrating the goal after scoring. And Mamelodi Sundowns turned up the volume and actually was able to come back and make it 1-1, proving once again that they are champions for a reason. There's a reason why they're unbeaten this year. There's a reason why they could go invincible should they win or draw this weekend's game, proving why they are 53 games, if I'm not mistaken, unbeaten in the league. Coach Rulani has not lost the league game since becoming a head coach, and they just proved that sometimes quality might just be able to get you over the line because they hadn't played a very good game up to that point. The game did boil over afterwards, where the two coaches and the staff and everybody got into a big melee where even the cops had to come onto the pitch and assist in calming down those people. So the bad blood that existed ever since those press conferences way back when is still alive and well, and it gave us a game. So guys, I've opened up the lines. Request, jump in, and we can go from there. So let me let in the first one.
Come yellow.
I refuse. I'm kidding. Kumo, welcome to the show. How are you?
Get sharp. Marlena, George. Like you spoke about everything. What am I supposed to be saying now?
I couldn't know. Just setting the table. I just said what happened.
People look at every point.
Hi, Kumo. What did you think of the game, Mara?
Would say it's funny, like on how low the standards are. Issue 4 Tears Galaxy, like their coach said, they actually outclassed us or they outplayed us. Yes, there were positive period of the game where they were taking and tried to give us a game, but in actuality, the game was nice. It was enjoyable, but you wouldn't say Tears Galaxy were in control, Like I don't want to mention, like we all know Sundowns' best starting 11, and yesterday it wasn't one of those starting 11. But on the other hand, the quality that we have for Sundowns was immense. You could see, Pitso, aka Mukhiliso, was solid. But one thing that I enjoyed from Tears Galaxy, they saw a loophole that was caused by Nku and obviously to win Apelem Mudiba, because Mudiba is an inverter, he's a natural attacker. So that left line, it was thoroughly exploited. It was exploited, but not thoroughly because they didn't really get a goal out of it. But one thing, Sundowns, there were so many elements, especially we actually saw chameleon football. Is there, but yeah, man, the game was nice. Obviously, in case I got the two coaches back to that extra factor, we wouldn't be discussing it. These two should just whip it out and take a measuring tape and see who's bigger, who's longer, then whoever wins in of allowance. Because this thing now, you're going to start thinking more Tears Galaxies on the level as us. But I'll wait for my second round to actually talk about such things.
No, let me ask you a question. I want to ask you a question. The game yesterday was high. Everything was going on. We saw that there was emotions involved and all of that stuff. Do you think that yesterday's game was good for Mamelodi Sundowns in terms of, I feel as though for the past few weeks, man, you guys have been, you've been putting it into second gear and just floating through games. Is it a good thing that a game like this happened now, just to remind you guys to get some of that urgency, especially going into the final?
Guys, like I said, we weren't really under serious attack. For them, it might seem like it. I mean, like we've been under pressure against serious teams. The only positive thing again when they didn't show any fear. And that is something that we seldom face as Sundowns. The other thing, and it was refreshing not to see a low block for the first time in many games. So I guess as Sundowns fans or fans in general, that game was nice. It was positive in many aspects, but still, man, you could tell which one is a 7-time winning championship side, and the others were not just from J. But yeah, I guess for Bona, it's one of the best games. It clearly they had a lot, like even though the drama for it was one of their best games. So I can't take that away from them. But Renaskar can sing in that mess and say it was positive. It wasn't.
Okay. Let me go to Malums. Malums, welcome to the show. How are you?
OT. I'm okay, OT. OT, we need to start somewhere.
Okay.
You know, PX Galaxy won the game yesterday for that 7 minutes. And the mistake that the coach made was to go and celebrate with the fans of the team that buy hockey players.
Yeah.
He celebrated, you know that the team in South Africa that's got bad luck. He went and celebrated with those fans. When he left, the score was 1-0. He jumped over a steel pole. I'm still trying to replay and find out how did Ramovic manage to jump over that pole.
Yeah.
But when he came back to the field, the score was 1-1. It was very, very cruel. It was a good game. I liked it. But again, there is this talk that Sundowns they met their match yesterday. But if I'm looking at the stats alone, and the stats don't say that. And if you look at the history, the recent history, who had yesterday a point to prove? Who had to prove a point yesterday? Sundowns beat TS Galaxy 3-0 about 3 weeks ago. And we all thought that yesterday it was going to be revenge time. TS Galaxy needed the 3 points more than Sundowns needed the 1 point. The only record we are chasing now is the invincible record. The league is there. We are not going to fight for the league now. The league is there. But TS Galaxy were the one who was supposed to come out and play. But how do you then give credit to a team that was supposed to get 3 points, ended up getting only 1 point? How do you give a credit to a team that has already donated 4 points to the 22-point lead that Sundowns had over PSL? I think, I know football is a game of different opinions, but for me, TX Galaxy coach is only auditioning for the Kaizer Chiefs job. This is all because you are hearing now everyone saying, no, this coach needs to come to Kaizer Chiefs. Because why? They believe that what is happening with TX Galaxy will also happen in Chiefs. These are off the field renting between him and Rulani, as good as it may be for the league, but I don't think that's going to be replicated with Kaizer Chiefs or any other team. And also, lastly, OT, we have to understand that I would really love to see games of this nature almost every week in South Africa. But you once raised a question to say, can we maintain this? Can other teams maintain this? I like what TX Galaxy did yesterday. And I saw that other teams could do the same thing when they play against Sundowns. Do not give Sundowns any respect. But can you do it for the duration of the season? That will be the question. Because we are playing Cape Town City this weekend. Can they do what TX Galaxy did? And lastly, OT, I think Sundowns, we have been given too much respect. And what you just said now with Kumo to say, the respect that you've been given is now a wake-up call for Sundowns to say, you know what? Sometimes you don't have to be given respect more than if you go and get it. I don't think Sundowns have any point to prove at this stage in terms of PSL. We own PSL. We own PSL in South Africa. And for the next 3 years, we're going to continue to own. So, yeah, I all in all, the only thing that the Roman pick was just to upset Coach Rulani. Other than that, in terms of the results, because whatever you do, you measure it in terms of the results. It's not the results that he wanted. It's not going to assist him because, again, he's sitting at number 4. And sitting at number 4 also uncomfortably so, because come this weekend, he might move out of that number of that 4th place. So for me, I don't think you could have celebrated that much as if he celebrated we have won the league, not him.
Okay. For time's sake, I'm going to jump in, Balloons. Let me bring in, before I bring in Velile, guys, please tap the screen. Let's try to get to 15,000 likes and beyond. Thank you so far to Polani, Malibongwe Bongi, Velile and Kumo for the gifts. Keep them coming, guys. Call them a gift, guys. Call them a rose or something. Takababa, Velile.
Bafokunjani?
Hayi man mina ngimnandi man ngizwa abantu bakwatile but thina sibukela igame emnandi. Velile, tell me, what did you think?
Uyakhohlwa ukuthi la kule show yakho uyabona isikhathi esiningi i-Father's Day. Mawuzobhiza ufuna ama-gift, amadoda awavamisile ukwenza le nto leyo.
Angithi ne-Father's Day man, sinikana amakawusi or something.
Siyenza inhlobo, sihlala sicomplaina sibalabala mlibe ngama-Valentine, ama-Women's Day nama-birthday siyakhala. Mr. LT.
How did you see the game, Vidit?
Ake ngibuze mntakababa.
Yeah.
Ake ngithi ngiyahamba ngihlangana nawe lapha edrobheni lakini lapha eSunnyside.
Sunnyside. Ungibeke okay.
Yeah, so mawungibona wena uyangibingelela ngikude lapha nakuwe. Wena Velile lento emnyama nempandla bawungibingelela. Bese phela ngikuphendule ngithi wena noma wakho nje kuzoyenza
Uzokuthuka lapha.
ungithukelana.
Angithi ngiqalile sasayenza siyalwa manje.
Iyayibona ulwiswa ukuthi ngoba ngithe umama kunjani mina ucabanga mawude kumnyama nempandla mina ngibuza ubuhlungu.
Akusana njalo ngifuna ukulwa.
Wena kumele undetermine ukuthi into engizwe ubuhlungu okanjani. Like now we must determine ukuthi ucoach we-Tex Galaxy kumele celebrate kanjani. No guys, come on. First of all ngibingelele kubafowethu kupanel. Nawo bonke abakuba-comments la. Nala besibhizi ukukhuluma nabemini ngibona umngane wami ubhuti ukhutshwa ubalekile athi uyothatha amandla la. But yeah, so far so that is that thing engizama ukuyichaza earlier on mntakababa. If you are going to be a coach, a professional coach, if you are going to disrespect people and also call people names, you must also behave when they return and call you names, and you must be able to take it. You cannot determine which one is more painful than whoever. No. If uthi ngimnyama nempandla nami ngisubuhlungu esimanje nami ngizothi kanjani mama wakho njani. So please can they do that? And for both coaches, mina, if I go back to yesterday's game, for both coaches, whether it's coming from Rulani or from Mosepe, that's unacceptable behaviors, because it starts there from the bench, and iqala kancane makubhiza ukuqala makudlala imatch, whereby you will see a simple foul, the bench will jump all over it, even I think that's unnecessary. There's no need to do that as coaches and the benches behave, because once you do that, it spills into the pitch, and once it spills into the pitch, any negative tackle that will happen to any player, whether it's malicious or not, it will just raise that emotion as if like it's a while there's nothing. Sometimes people, they just need to guard their emotions. They are professional coach. Surely they must go to emotional intelligence classes if a man are going to. But
can I ask, man, are we not blowing this thing out of proportion? Even if the coaches don't like each other, why does it have to be such a big deal? No. We Pirates need Chiefs. Corner la besingazwani corner or corner. There's weeks where we play each other. Singafuna ukhuluma squatela. Why is this blown so much out of proportion? Because at the end of the day,
it's human nature when I'm talking about it will blow out of proportion, especially in Zoitama support. Because remember, there's one thing: if you are winning, you will have people who are jealous of that. But also, there's arrogance in winning. You must be careful of that. Don't be trying and people will be jealous and they will be coming for you. And remember, if
they cannot match you on the field of play, surely I have to use another thing. If I have to come to you and I said, look, I have to instigate something out of you that will make, because if you look, Rulani, when he's challenged, and sometimes he loses focus, but I concentrate. Hopefully, that could be a weapon for his enemy. He must guard against that. Because I'm be distracted with so many side shows in such a way that they could distract him from his work at hand. Because he's a beautiful coach, technically astute. He watches the game, he's a student of the game, and he knows in most cases what he's talking about. But once he allows these certain things distract him, then he loses it completely. So nathi njengoba ngisho nathi mangabe siyama-supporter, we mustn't also inflate it in such a way ukuthi kugcine izolo sekungena nama-race card of which uma uthi abheka work, there's no need because sometimes they're not fair. If uSiyed is gonna reply to uRulani, but uKompela ureplyile nakazange reply futhi uKompela, he initiated it and said a certain coach on my laptop who's got 5 passwords. We know who we're talking about. But why we're not saying Ukompela is jealous of the young black coach and racist? No, it's not that. If Usied he's got a right to respond now if he feels intimidated by certain things that is said by another coach, he's got a right to do that. And the same goes to Rulani Food. But what mean I'm against it, they mustn't let this thing now spill into the field of play. Because now if you look, ilento ibhizi yaqhubeka, uParker walimala, ubongani izungu limele last. Uyangithola? Singagcina futhi match with sibuza elinye player futhi khona kuwo lama team wethu. And what's said, because those players are South African players, they are assets for our country, so they cannot let this beef normally spill into the field whereby we don't enjoy like a game. Because now in most cases, yesterday game technically was beautiful from both sides, but now we are being distracted. Most of us here, we cannot talk about what we saw, the beautiful football yesterday, pound for pound, that they normally talk about Mamela or even was open play for both teams. We saw Sundowns being attacked yesterday, and they were vulnerable at the back. And you could see that these guys, if you come at them, the tactic that they used, they were just spot on. I could say, besides on side show, Ramovic and Rulani were brilliant yesterday. So those are the facts and points that you have to go to.
Time.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, I don't even want to speak about tactics because God think to with the guys attack them. God, Ngasala. I remember Ngasala for shows. People are telling me, hey, you can't do this.
Yeah.
Hey.
And it's a beautiful game. It's a pity we only see this game as the last second game of the season. Now, so we are in August.
Hopefully, Wasakwatelane even when August comes.
Magamanje sengisozoba west because sengena nosigaqagqa we-Sundowns manje sekune-physical trainer manje yabo.
Okay, I think Pagubog. Hey. Bogi, welcome to the show. How are you?
Oti, good evening.
Bogi, tell me about this game. What did you think of this game?
Before we go to the game, good evening everyone on the panel, to the comment as well, and everyone who's listening and watching. The game of yesterday, to be quite honest, I think it's a game that Sundowns needed before the final. And the game of yesterday, beside the tension and everything, every drama that was going on, I mean, since from the beginning of the game, what I've picked up a lot is that Mokwena, the coach of Sundowns, he, even though Sundowns were struggling at the back and were caught backpedaling most of the time, what happened is he read the game. He's the coach that reads the game, and he responds to questions that he gets from, like yesterday, the questions that he got from TX Galaxy. And even though it went on and on, even second half, TX Galaxy were attacking, but I'm so disappointed with Ramovic that after he scored the goal, he had a good plan of getting a goal from Sundowns, attacking, but he forgot to have a plan after getting a goal, what's next. And you can tell that with Sundowns, after they've conceded the goal, if you can remember, before they scored the goal, they kept the ball 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's the strong point. That's how they play. They kept the ball to themselves and they move sideways, trying going to the middle. And that's how they got the opportunity. They've equalized. And after they've equalized, they almost got a second goal, which it's whereby I'm saying I'm disappointed with Ramovic because he didn't have a plan. And I believe when he celebrated the goal, he thought it's 90 minutes. And he forgot that the game is still on. But it was a very tactical game. We're not moving from the couches if you're watching from TV. And it's a game that it was giving everything that we need to see in a football match. Unfortunately, with TS Galaxy, like I say, that Sundowns, even the players themselves, you can tell that after they considered the goal, they realized that, you know what, there's a way that we are playing. They have to control the ball. And after doing that, they got the goal. And from there, they wanted to stick to that. They almost got a goal by Mokwena, and also by Mvala missed the set piece that he missed as well. So, I mean, it was a beautiful game. Like I said, besides the old drama and the post-match and everything, you know.
Okay. Bongi, would you say that what happened at Sundowns this time was that I feel for the past few weeks, Sundowns has been taking games for granted and they've been winning them, but they haven't been, playing. Do you think that this is a game that they needed to remind them that, okay, guys, you are Mamelodi Sundowns. If you decide to turn up the pace, you could win all the games. Obviously, they've won. They haven't been beaten. But do you think this is an important game going into the final? Or their reaction
I believe
in this game?
so, and I believe so, and also I will say that in terms of the other games, like I won't say not taking them serious. I think we need to be to realize that, I mean, a team like Sundowns who plays different first 11s in each and every game, who rotate players squad the way like Sundowns does, and also they win those matches. I mean, we need to realize that that fact alone, it has an impact into a team. Even though they will win matches, but it will have a different impact in terms of, because they're rotating the squads, different players playing in each and every game. But beside, I don't think they were not taking them serious. I think one of the things with Sundowns is that I think they want to control games, and they want to play into their own strength. They don't want to play based on the situation that they get. And it's not good for them. As you can see yesterday, it was not good for them want to play the way TS Galaxy was playing. The playing on speed all the time. That's not Sundowns. And it's one of the things that was affecting them yesterday. Like always trying to play on transition. That's not Sundowns how they play. But I mean, to also add on your question, I think as we know, Rulani Mokwena, he's the student of the game. You know, he's arrogant on everything that he wants to imply, everything that he wants to try. He's arrogant on it. And if we don't recognize that in each and every game that they've played, I mean, we'll think that maybe Mamelodi Sundowns, they're not taking other games very seriously. But I believe they were taking them seriously.
No, Bongi, for time's sake, I'm just going to bring in Ushon. Sean, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Oh, man, I mad at you, but
you mad at
have
me?
been ignoring me for a while now, but it's fine. It's okay. You are fighting top 8. I understand. I understand the stress. It's okay.
Me, I don't have stress about that team.
It's
Leave me
okay.
alone. It's been 9 years. We learned to live with it. Tell me about this game, Sean.
You see, my issue with a lot of PSL teams is how they play against Sundowns is always different. If you look at how TS Galaxy played, I tell you for a fact the next game is going to be different.
Yes.
Because what they did is they never really jumped the line into Sundowns' final third to try and get the ball high up. They waited for Sundowns to cross the line so that we can push our back line up. And the way that they pressed is they didn't necessarily press the ball, they pressed individuals who don't have the ball.
Okay.
Right? So they tried to block the passing lane like that. But because Sundowns, some players would have an extra touch, some players would dribble, it was easier. The issue was, for me, River's been struggling the past couple of games since he came back, because he doesn't give us the type of balance that we need. He doesn't give us those quick transitions that we need. He doesn't set up play coming from the back, which is something that we need him to do. But also, I think, of course, you're trying to reward players. You're trying to reward Mbule for the performances that he's been giving. You're trying to do the same thing with Nku. You're trying to do the same thing with Matthews. I think one thing that we didn't... I mean, we played well. We played well, besides the fact that in the second half, they had about 10 minutes because of our own mistakes.
Yeah.
When...
Hey, man.
Sorry, guys.
Okay, no, are you okay? No, you can carry on, Sean, if you're gonna. Okay, you know what? Let me do this. Let's allow Sean to answer the phone. I'm gonna jump in and I'm gonna move to the next panel. Sean, come back so that you can jump in. This part of the show, I want to focus on this talk about the two coaches and what has been said and all of that stuff. Because for me, these are my feelings. Just to set up on my side, these are my feelings. Number one, for me, I don't care. I see this as a good thing. We're finally seeing coaches with personality. We're finally seeing coaches playing with something to lose or something to gain, or they're bringing something into the game that's giving them a little bit extra. And I know it's one game, which is part of my criticism of these people, that guys, it's all well and good. Now we know TS Galaxy can play like this. Can they play like this on Wednesday, January 23, when nobody's watching those games? Guys, I'm going to let you in just now. When nobody's watching those games, when nobody's there, when you're not beefing with the coach, when it's not Pirates or Chiefs or Sundowns, when it's none of those things, because that's where our teams mislead us. I actually said in our group, the WhatsApp group, that for me it feels like they show us. Kaizer Chiefs played Pirates and they showed us that they can play. Why? It's the moment. Now we see TS Galaxy doing this because of the beef that they have. Personally, I don't care about the beef. This is not like where people are going to die and shoot each other and do whatever. I think this is good, right? Which leads me to my second point, where I asked the question. For me, it feels a little bit like there's some coaches in the league that are allowed to say things and stoke fires and maybe do certain things. But other coaches, we look at them and go, how dare you say those type of things? Guys, we've been following Rulani for the whole season. We know we take shots. Rulani takes a lot of shots in the middle of his press conferences. We know Abu Hugo Bruce takes shots. Here comes Morgan Mamila and he speaks out and he's got a personality. We don't like it. So is it maybe a thing where there's an expectation of guys like Sid Ramovic, because their teams are not doing all the way well, that they must sit down and not say anything, right? I personally don't care. If that motivated them to get up and play, then they got up and played. Gutia, after that, I don't know. But anyway, let me let in the other people, because I really want to speak about this thing about the coaches. Because if you remember correctly, things were said in both directions. Things were said, but I don't hear those things being said now when we're speaking about it. And I feel like we're also adding other things that maybe don't necessarily have a place in this conversation because we're blowing it up. But let's see. I want to hear from you guys. Tuli, welcome to the show. How are you?
Good evening.
How do you feel about this? I'm sharp, man. Tule, how do you feel about this thing? Yama beef and coaches speaking in the media and all of that stuff. How do you feel in general, and even this beef now?
Hey, Mr. Oti, imagine if we have such intense matches throughout the PSL. Yo, do you think those stadiums will be empty, Mr. Oti?
Oh.
I think this beef, man, it kind of advertise a game, because there's more involved. Like we have a lot of things that we're looking forward to see in the game because of the beef.
Yeah.
The only problem I have now, Mr. Oti, is when it cascades into the field of play, where now we have tackles which are career ending and so forth. Because it seems like this beef between TX Galaxy and Sundowns, it has cascaded to that aspect whereby now we have tackles which are career ending. And then also another negative that I see, it's the spirit of the game. Because if you watch that game, you did watch it because we were watching along. There was, you see, when the players they play, when there's a tackle and so forth, you see an opposition lifting the opponent up from the ground. Hey, didn't see that yesterday, Mr. Oti. It's kind of negative in the spirit of the game. But it was a catalyst of us watching a very good, intense game. It was like I'm watching a final or something, but it triggered something. It showed as much as our league, it's not that much appetizing, but it showed the potential. So the beefs they are good, man. I'm with you there, but it's just that it has to have its limit. It shouldn't cascade into other aspects.
Do you think that maybe we show some coaches leeway with what they say in press conferences, and now we get shocked by these other guys who are speaking? Do you feel that there is maybe some of that comes into play here?
Hey, can you repeat that question? English was speaking.
No,
leeway. What is leeway?
We all go, it's Rulani. He's arrogant. We've come to accept it. So a lot of the things that he says, we kind of let them go, even though we know there's things that he says. We watch his press conferences for a reason. But now, Makulma bo Morgan Mamila or Kulma bo Ramovic, we come out and we coaches shouldn't be doing this. Is there a bit of a difference, Lapo Gutime, man? Not you, we're treating coaches differently.
Yeah, it seems like they say in Zulu, kukhetwe iphele emasini when it comes to that. It seems like it's skewed to the left. Box and whisker le yakho. It's kind of unfair the way it is interpreted. Because there are other issues where amanyama coaches, for instance, whenever Mamila speaks, and then whenever Rulani says something, the interpretation is kind of not balanced. Even Kunjana will see it in a seat from ATS Galaxy. Whenever he speaks, it seems like Kunjana, the decibels in terms of the way we interpret it are much higher as compared to how it's interpreted on Rulani's side. So it's kind of unfair, and the reason for that it's media, Mr. Uti. It's controlled by the media.
Okay. Let me bring in Sampo. Sampo, welcome to the show. How are you? You can just unmute there. Guys, remember to mute when you come in so that we can just respect whoever's speaking at that moment.
Good evening, my brother, and everyone on the panel and everyone who's watching.
Sampo, I'm going to drop you straight into the fire. What do you think about coaches' beef? This thing about coaches beefing and how Rulani and Sid Ramovic have interacted with each other?
I don't, from my point of view, I don't see it as a beef, but passion. It's motivated by passion.
Okay.
These two guys are very passionate about what they do. They love football. They so equipped about tactics and the way football should be played. When I look at, I'm not a TS Galaxy fan, but when I look at how this guy has been conducting this team on how it plays, how it comes out of situations during game moments, he's very passionate and he's good at what he does.
Yeah.
And I think when it comes to Rulani is just so passionate and arrogant. His level of arrogance when he believes in something, he sticks to it. He doesn't care who has an opinion on that or not. It's about him, what he believes, what he thinks, and what he knows he can achieve.
So why do we struggle?
I'm not really.
Why do we struggle as South African fans to accept coaches that speak out? So Rulani, people speak about his arrogance. Coach Mamila, people spoke about his arrogance. Sid Ramovic, people are speaking a certain way. Why do we not like that as South African fans?
Because we're not being honest with ourselves. We only react when we win, and we tend to tell ourselves that, okay, when we win we are the best. But football is about detail. Every little detail matters in football. How you play it, how you start it, how you conduct yourself, how you morally conduct yourself during the game. Are we well equipped with the rules of the game? No. Or we just love football because we believe Kokasi Oshapamutu spy to when no star.
Yeah.
So it's about lack of knowledge from most South African football fans that we lack so much into what the game means and what is about the game. Look at, for example, let me give you an example on how everyone expected Sundowns to lose against Tunis. Had Sundowns won, what will be everyone's weight? To be like, Motsepe bought the game. Everyone will be like, Motsepe this, Motsepe that. But no one takes their time, and it's not like they don't take their time per se, but they just don't want to acknowledge when something good is happening from a certain team, especially Sundowns. And I'm telling you, even today, somebody is still justifying the fact that Chiefs went to CAF final with a FIFA ban, transfer ban. They say it's because Chiefs is a big team. It's not a big team. They played well. They went on their journey to be we having this situation. So how do we maneuver it? But Sundowns is making plans to become what they wanna be, and Rulani is making plans to achieve what he wanna achieve. But the beef between him and Ramovic is good for our football. And if we see it as war or beef, we won't give ourselves to understand the passion behind it.
Okay.
Yes, somehow it's getting out of hand. It got personal because the way attacks personally, but for me it's just pure passion.
Okay, Sampo. For time's sake, I'm just gonna bring in. I like that point. For me, I honestly look at this thing and I'm just like, again, guys, it could be a tactic, it could be a thing you use, it could be the personalities of the coaches. But the thing is, we don't give our coaches and our football the chance to have the other things, right? So what that they've come out and they were swearing at each other and all of that stuff. I personally don't care. I personally don't want to put too much onto it. I'd much rather say, okay, like Ustompo just said, it's two very passionate coaches that have their disagreements. But guys, they will meet 2 or 3 times in a season. What I'm asking from Ramovic is to go, okay, you've shown this passion for Rulani when you were playing the best team in the league. show that passion for the rest of the games. Show that level of engagement. And especially these coaches, you see.
Can I
them.
interrupt you there for a moment? The thing we lack mostly is consistency,
Yeah.
because we tend to take motivations out of silly things. You can understand that how many people hype the derby,
Yeah.
but what has it been showing?
Okay. No, but for time. For time.
Sure, my
Let me-
brother.
Let me bring in Sundowns fan. Sundowns fan, how are you?
Hi, Bra George. How's it?
I'm good. Tell me, what do you think of this whole thing that's happening between Coach Rulani and Coach Ramovic?
Okay, Bra George. Let me start with the game with Izolo, ne?
Yeah.
That was an entertaining match. The game with Izolo, and I was just thinking about TS Galaxy can relocate to go to Pretoria, so that it's gonna be a derby. The way they play yesterday.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be the best match of the season. Because what I see is I just realized if they play the way they play yesterday, all their games would have the other TS Galaxy today. Because they have their game plan work. Then after that, I didn't listen the about coach Babatini before the game, ne? Because I'm busy at work, njalo. Then after work, I managed to watch the game. Then after game, if Uramovic didn't say something after the game, I would say, yeah, he made it yesterday because of the game. So Uramovic, Uramovic ulibele go celebrate about okay, he think ba uyigqibile yonke into, then he went to celebrate. After within, I think the goal was on 77 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. Then Shaluli equalized on 84 minutes. So how many minutes between 77 and 84?
Seven.
Okay.
6 or 7.
So after that goal, he would say to his players, listen here, guys, we managed to score. So now you have to focus to remain constant.
Yeah.
So they celebrate, they forget we still have time to play. You understand? Then end up going to comments after the game. But if you want to win against me again, you must bring Mbappe and Ronaldo, what. That is unprofessional. Because as a Sundowns fan, I want to hold it again. I want to hold it on myself.
Okay.
The next game against ETS Galaxy, we won't have Mbappe and we won't have Messi. What about if you lose? Then I'll ask him, where is Mbappe, but you lose? You see?
Okay.
And also, football is not about big names. I remember Messi and Mbappe used to play together at PSG. What did they achieve? Because he also says he don't have like 200 million what to buy players, what.
Okay.
On his CV, okay, when he was hired and when he was signing a contract at TS Galaxy, he didn't know that you have the same players you're playing against. You know that.
Okay.
Because you don't go to work where you don't know the principles.
For time.
You understand?
I'm just gonna jump in. For time, I'm just gonna jump in so I can let as many people in. Let me go to Vuyo. Vuyo, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good, my brother. How are you?
I'm good. Vuyo, tell me how you feel about this thing between Coach Ramovic and Coach Mokwena.
Childish.
Hmm. Because football is get emotion, so sometimes you don't have to prove your personality or whatever.
Yeah.
You don't need, and you don't. We don't need to be friends. Yes, it's
Mm.
football, but you don't shake hands. You behave like children.
Mm.
We don't need such a drama in football.
Mm. Mm.
And another thing, uh, tell me which team in the world that doesn't sign good players if they want to achieve a certain dream.
Mm.
So sometimes the coaches they speak something that's stupid.
Mm.
Don't speak for another team. Stay on your line.
Mm. Mm.
And we don't care what you say, OT. You can say Sundowns is signing everyone. Who cares?
Mm.
Who cares? Because they have their own money. They have their own structure. It's the way
Okay.
that they want. We
Okay.
don't care
Okay.
about your personality to whatever. Save it.
Mm.
It's yours.
Mm.
Just use your team and beat Sundowns. That's all. Show them that you are the best team. Show them that you're a good team. And don't perform as if like you're playing in the final World Cup only against Sundowns. Remember, Pitso, he told you some of the teams they'll perform like as if they are playing a beautiful the last game of their season.
Yeah.
Why are you not consistent? I love Jimmy Tao. Jimmy Tao he said yesterday, why are you not taking this performance to the other levels teams that you play with?
Amen. Mm.
To being consistently.
Mm.
Focus on your game. Focus on your achievement. You can achieve something. Stop speak nonsense and drama. We don't need those things in football. To inform players, to kick other players, no man.
Yeah.
Childish. This coach is. I understand sometimes Rulani is just a shame. He never play football.
Mm.
So if you play football, you need to accept and understand. It's okay. In football, some of the things it's happened like this. So take it down and cool down. It's fine. And let it go. And let amateur coaches speak their amateur level. You can't hear Pep who's speaking nonsense in the media. He knows, hey, well done, Arsenal, what. He watch Arsenal. Let me tell you a secret. He watch all of those games so that they can learn from the best teams what they are doing.
Okay.
So thank you for the opportunity, my
No.
brother. But those things are childish. And Sundowns need to tell Rulani to, hey, here you don't behave here. Here you behave.
Mm.
You behave, you respect others, focus on your job. Because we don't need this drama. Because yena vele unemchacharakanyana Rulani. If you remember, he made Pirates when he coached Pirates against Sundowns. You remember what happened, OT?
You remind us.
You
Remind
don't
us.
remember that game?
Yeah. Remind us.
There was a game against Orlando Pirates, Sundowns.
Mm.
They were trying to fight, and then one of the fans of Sundowns, he jumped to the pitch, he go and hold Rulani in there. There is always drama about him, a little bit drama. So that thing of him, he need to calm down because sometimes we're gonna lose game because he's too much emotional for nothing. That's a piece of shit. We don't need those things of his personality. Just focus on your lane and contract your players and tell your players what they need to do to focus on the game. Because this thing of him, if some other teams in Africa, best teams, they can see him like acting like a child, they're gonna use those things against him. I love him, I support him, but he mustn't do those things. This amateur coach of Stellenbosch, leave him. Skukune or Stellenbosch, they will deal with him. They will make him humble. He will keep quiet. So just leave him like this.
Okay. For time's
I know
sake.
the South African yesterday, they are happy for Sundowns, but Sundowns, we're still going to the final games without a lose. We're going to break all the records in South Africa. Kuyozobuya uJesu OT. Nithanda ningathandi, danko.
Okay. I'd just like to send a shout out to Ubongani Chisi over on YouTube for one of my first super chats. He gave me a super chat that side. Thank you so much, guys. Can we get some gifts on TikTok too? Can we get some more gifts on YouTube? Very good show, guys. I see we have gone to 23,000. I think we can take it to 30. Let's try to take it to 30 as I bring in Sporo. Sporo, welcome to the show. How are you?
Itara, my brother. Yes, thing that I want to start with, that guy. If you can check the game of yesterday, they have to do a guard of honor for Sundown. But that coach was not here. You can see from the beginning that it was a beef. If you can check that and I check on the social media, it was not that guy. So and another thing that is promoted this thing for Rulani and that coach is you media. Some questions that you ask Rulani and some questions that you ask this guy, it's very dumb. You can see that you are creating something that is not there.
Yeah.
And this guy for now is a hero because he's fighting for Rulani. But let's wait one day they attacked coach for Kaizer Chiefs. You see the whole South Africa said, no, this guy's rating him. No, this guy's not good. But because today is Rulani and the Rulani is your favoritism. No, it's good. Rulani is bad. Yeah, you can check Rulani sometimes behave like you do think that yes, you know that guy from Orlando Pirates. But now because it's at Sundown and it's doing good thing for Sundown. No. When everyone say thing, it's wrong. Okay, check and go and check the interview for that night. This guy, when he said Sundown must buy Pape, must buy Christian Martin, that being said by Rulani. You are going to say, no, Rulani, why you said this thing? No, it's not good for. Understand, my brother. So I think you media that as to you have got a big platform. You are the one that's creating that beef. Even you.
How?
Me? You are
Me?
creating that beef because you don't like Rulani because Rulani is doing good things for Sundown. So you are trying something to shake that guy. You are trying something to shake that guy. I mean, what kind of question you can ask? Who's the coach of this season? You can ask him Rulani. You said no. It's me. Oh no, why is that me? That guy. But you are asking him. He asked the question. It's wrong.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm just waiting for one day that coach will fight with coach, like Orlando Pirates coach or Kaizer Chiefs coach. I know this guy will be the most hated guy in South Africa. For now, everyone is celebrating him because he's fighting with Rulani, and Rulani is the one enemy for Kaizer Chiefs and Pirates. But if you can beat the reality, but let's check from the if you can analyze the game, how these players that we're playing from Chase Galaxy, that's on your own. You can see that there's something that's not good.
Yeah.
And as South Africa, we've got a problem. If you can remember by Pitso Mosimane, we hate Pitso Mosimane because he was doing something good for Sundown. Today's Rulani Mokwena. He's doing same again. As you find Kaizer Chiefs, you want this guy to come to Kaizer Chiefs now because he has got a beef with Sundown.
Yeah.
It's good for Kaizer Chiefs or because you've got a beef with Sundown. It's a question.
Okay. For time, we're gonna jump in there. Hey, Sporo putting me to the fire. Oh, Bina, guys, I'm not media, guys. Let me go to ASAP. ASAP, how are you doing?
Asibonge Sporo.
Oh, I've been fighting for Rulani all season. Now I hate him, guys.
Fakumlilo Sporo. This is what we need, OT. This is what we need.
Yeah.
Passion. Professionalism doesn't mean be down.
Yeah.
Professionalism doesn't mean have no personality.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, football is not economics, it's not accounting, it's entertainment. At the bottom line, it's entertainment. And in a country, a third world country in Africa, football means much more, I think, than it does to the rest of the world, right? Let's not even forget why football is how big it is in South Africa, where it was something that our parents and our grandparents used to forget the harsh times that they were experiencing during the apartheid, during the week weekend. You want to go see a Zamaya, you want to go see a Shiwobo on the field so that you can at least have that sense of escapism. Football is escapism, Jaya. So I don't agree, man, with some of the comments where they're saying this is childish, this is no. So we need this. We need more of this from other coaches. We need more Abo Morgan Mamila. We need more
competitive derbies. In fact, it can't be what's the competitive games. It's just Sundowns and CSO Pirates and Chiefs. We need regional derbies that matter. It can't be good when it's a KZN derby. It doesn't mean anything. No one is even watching. What's the point then? So we need more bums in the stadiums. We need more bums in the seats in the stadiums. Not only just for the impacting of the football itself, but the economical downtrekking that happens. There's more people at the stadiums. That means Abu Mama Bapa Isayo can also make more money, and like the economics of that trickle down further than football. You know what I mean? And that improves South African football beyond just the field of play. I think that yeah.
No. I wanted to ask you. No, just finish that point there.
No. You can ask him for it.
Can I just be direct? Are we soft?
Please.
Are we soft?
Yes,
you know, and when I say soft, I mean we see two coaches fighting. It's words. We get all up in arms. We see Coach Morgan Mamila coming out and saying, I wanted one of the limping ones when he was speaking. And then we come out and we're up in arms. You know, every time there's something, we're so up in arms for things that, let's be honest, don't mean that much.
Yeah. I want more of what Morgan was saying, because why wouldn't you want your coach to believe in your team, Joe? Why wouldn't you want your coach to have that passion and desire? Because that trickles down also to the players, first of all. So if you're gonna want a coach that's constantly wearing suits, that's constantly a wordsmith like Steve Compella, for instance, it's like, but man, I need passion, dog. I need like a wrestling kind of thing. We know they're actually friends in wrestling, but this is theater, dog. You know, and that contributes to the presentation of the product. In Europe, we know that some of these coaches have these little spits with each other in media, but they're cool in the background, in fact, and that adds to the
psychology of it.
Yes, it adds to the storyline, and it adds to the narrative, and it also adds to the fans having like an emotional attachment to this game that we all love, you know. We can't be saying, yo, no, this is not a professional. No. If you want professionalism, I'm be officini. You're professional at your 9 to 5. This is our escape from faith. So we need the passion so that we can also be passionate. I'm not gonna go pay 60 rand to go watch a game if it's dull. I won't do that. I won't even play. I don't want to play with you, young son. So I'm excited about this TS Galaxy and Sundowns rivalry that's brewing, and I hope that we can have more young coaches. I was expecting this type of behavior from like Maputi Khanye, because I know he's a very opinionated guy. I'm expecting this type of behavior from more coaches, actually, so that Sundowns also isn't comfortable. And I also need this as a Sundowns fan not to be comfortable, so that we're constantly raising the bar, we're constantly making sure we're not getting complacent. Yeah, but I don't want to take too much time because I want to. That's where I'm at.
No, ASAP, thank you. I just want to take the time to thank Usupa Spuba, Lulu the boss lady, MK, Malume Kutso, Kolani Malibongwe, Bongi, Velile, and Kumo. Thank you for the gifts, as well as over there on YouTube, Bongani Mchisi. Thank you for the super chat. Guys, send them. Let's go to Sean, I'm going to take you off of the point you were making earlier. I want to get your opinion on this beef and how us as South Africans, we digest these beefs when we're watching football. What are your feelings around this?
It angers me, my guy. Me, I won't lie. It angers me because the TS Galaxy you know when you throw a punch but you have a soft chin. So you can't take it when it's thrown back to you. That type of bully. Because when let me just say this: when they came to Loftus, he was greeted nicely, and then Coach Rulani went to his chair, gave him 3, acknowledged him afterwards, and then we moved on. And then in the post-match presser, he threw shots again. He was ignored by Coach Rulani. Okay? And then you have to also consider the fact that when Bernard Parker got hurt, they asked him if he thought that the tackle that Zungu made was personal, and he said yes. You understand? And then Sundowns goes and he does the same thing when Zungu was injured. And coach said, no, I was told that's what he used. He used Bernard Parker's injury to up the boys, you know. and it's not far fetched to think that tackle was deliberate. How? Now they took that and then they took it to court. Now they're going to court and then they say it's banter. You understand what I mean? So how is it banter? So when it's done to you, you want to go to court about it. You understand? I mean, I hear people saying we took what he said, calling Rulani Mr. Sunshine, and then we made it a race thing. It is a race thing. Sunshine is what was used to refer to black men to put them in their place as a racial slur. It's in history. You understand? It's in history. You see. So now I some people see it like that. I just see it as him being a European who's condescending. You understand? It's him being a European who's condescending, because you can't come here and start, because the way he's been speaking ever since he got here, you know, whether it's about other coaches or referees, he came here to come and tell us how we should actually start living. You understand what I mean? So for me, it's guys, it can be beef, you know, it can be Coach Pitso and Ernst Middendorp. You understand? It can be it can be that type of situation, you know. Like they asked him about me, he spoke about me. You ask me about him, I'll speak about him. You get what I mean? But for you to get it to a point where on national television, yeah, no. You see, you make such a slur, whether you understood what it meant or I get because when it's done to you, you take it to court. That's my problem.
So then can
when it's done to you, you take it to court.
So then are we then saying, are we being fair with the hearsay things? Because if Rulani comes out and says, I've got somebody inside the Chess Galaxy dressing room that says that the coach used this as asked the players to go and break a leg or whatever Coach Rulani said, are we believing Coach Rulani but not believing Coach Ramovic when he comes out and says, I got a phone call from this guy and he told me to go back to my country, right? Or to be careful in the country and all of that stuff. Are we not picking sides when we speak about coaches speaking in media?
We're not because it's it can be banter, it can be less, you know, fixtures in South African football. My thing is, country, why then? That's my thing. Like,
just repeat that last part. You're breaking up. Just repeat that last part there.
I'm saying. What do you want to say? You can call it. Then what is it that when the team off the pitch and
it's cutting badly, Sean. We're losing you there.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's got.
Sean,
and then they come and tell us that
I'm gonna have to. It's cutting very badly. I don't know what's happening.
Your stream doesn't want to.
You see, those words are here, but then in the middle it just cuts.
You're part of TS Galaxy. I understand. The Sundowns don't have. You honestly don't have friends. But I just want to end it here. Like, this always win. A bit of nobody's business. And then the next result.
I have to let you go. I have to let you go, Sean. I would have to let you go. It's cutting badly. I'm sorry. Today I've been called things. I'm a Chess Galaxy fan, a media. Malume Kutso, welcome.
You must account, Mr. OT, for your sins as the media. It's you who's causing this fight. Ooh, Mr. OT, in that chair of overthinking football.
Hey, guys. It's fine. We'll be media, guys. We'll be media. Malume Kutso, how do you feel about this whole situation?
Mr. OT, there's a song I love, By the Soil. It's not one of the famous ones, but if you're old enough and you roam around the circles, it's quite popular. It says, "Hey sunshine, how you doing? I'm doing fine, thinking about you. Hey sunshine, how..." Hey, Mr. Oti, I used to love that song. I used to love that song, and I'm glad Uti, it's back. It's back, Mr. Oti. Guys, we must not, and I'm gonna say this respectfully, you must not piss on the struggle. The struggle is not to be used for selfish gains. The struggle is not to be minimized for selfish gains. We must respect what those who came before us fought for, and we must not misuse it. We must not abuse the freedom and abuse the freedom of speech. I hope ngiyazwakala, Mr. Oti.
No. I'm just laughing because after you sang, TikTok has now sent me a message to say that my live has been age restricted because of what we're talking about. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
Actually,
literally.
It's not from me, Mr. Oti. You know, when it waffled, I thought it waffling on purpose. Because, guys, please be careful. Things like racism, you can actually be sued yourself for uttering such and saying someone is racist. You might have to go out there and prove. So, in as much as, but and you know, Mr. Oti, I understand where they are coming from. And I'll admit, I've been there before. I remember when Coach Ernst ruffled Coach Rulani's feathers. I was not happy. I argued with my colleague the whole day in how Coach Ernst disrespected Coach Rulani. But in hindsight, as I'm out of it, I'm able to appreciate that it's a comment from a fellow coach. You understand? We cannot hold people on race and be like, this one, because he's white, everything he says will be deemed racist. This one, because he's black. Imagine if Tito was king, not Tito, if Coach Rulani was white and Ronza was white. Would we say he wants him and he says that player is superior? Would it be racist then? Let's not invite things into this game that are not of this game. People have been stabbed for Orlando, Mr. Oti, because things were blown out of proportion. This thing, Asia South Africa, it's Coach Rulani and Coach Sid Ramovich. They must deal with it alone. They must be locked in a room. They either talk it out or they beat each other. You understand? Whatever they choose, it's up to them. Marawa far, and I'm very disappointed with the time really tough. That body builder, that pound size Sundowns. I'm very disappointed because he's risking his job. You know, you might think which are protecting the team, but when the PSL comes knocking, Mr. Oti, you'll be the sacrificial lamb. They will say, we will fire him, don't worry. Lento yenzile puti, ayuko right. Mara, you instructed me. I was already not even instructed, but I was protecting. But lento yenzile, it's unbecoming. Your job here is to train people or to watch the kids. Lento uchi shabo coach. We are not going to tolerate. It's against the morals and ethics that Sundowns stands for. Next thing you're gone. So and remember what he's there for and keep to it. At no point did I see Coach Sead lift his hand at Coach Rulani, and at no point did I see Coach Rulani lift his hand at Coach Sead. That individual who went there, what's your choice of Coach? Yeah, he tried with your choice of Coach Sead. Unfortunately, Coach Sead is somewhat stronger. He bounced there himself by his chest. So that guy must tone it down, Mr. Oti, and understand Oti. He will be sacrificed.
And then
okay.
No, go on. Finish that point.
Our fans should also try and remove themselves from these situations, Mr. Oti, and watch them. I've been on this platform and spoken about Coach Jose. When people go the other, I'm like, no, he's very rude.
Yes.
I've been on this platform and people are like, nah, he's nice. I'm a Pirates fan. I'm like, he's very rude. I can hear the shots, even if he's saying them in a subtle way. Why abanye bangakwazi ukwenza lamashots Coach Rulani awenza every day?
That's what I wanted to ask you, Malube, because that's what I wanted to ask you, that is there some sort of, like, for example, I'll use Hugo Bruce because it's out of the way. We've spoken here about Hugo Bruce, and I've said that, hey, Hugo Bruce, now he speaks a bit weirdly, and people said, nah, but he speaks the truth. Now it's pointing to somebody else, or it's a coach Mamila, it's a coach Ramovic. It's like you don't want to take it in. It doesn't matter what they say, but if it's a coach Rulani or a coach Jose, they get to act in a certain way, and we all look past it.
No, the one of the most important licenses in the world of football is winning. When you win, you can get away with it. And trust me, if you was losing and saying all of these things, it's the Sundowns fans who turn against him and ask, this is the loss you want. Actually, they were already saying it. This is not the loss we wanted when it wasn't working out. But when it started working out, they understood. So it goes to something that even Khalifang spoke about and said, once you are winning, you are allowed to get away with a lot in life, Mr. OT. Even Kanakimang, the great Tembinkosi Lodge, we don't really crucify him for the other stuff. We go ahead with life. Even the president of the country, we don't really crucify him until we want him off the chair. You will see us galvanizing and saying, but you did 1, 2, 3, but you did 1, 2. Right now, it's as if they don't exist. Even the former statesman before him, when he came in, he was accused, and I repeat, he was accused of some horrendous things. And he was elected regardless of those things. So winning provides a safety net for you to say some things. And I repeat, Coach Jose Rivero is also in the same boat. He will hit a journalist underbelt. He literally calls, not literally, but one can downgrade it or kind of deconstruct it to say, this guy usually says journalists are stupid. 9-9. But he gets away with it. You know why? Pirates is winning cups. Wait until Pirates starts losing. That's why you see about Kelvin Johnson, they are being attacked. About Molifensek, they were attacked. That's why they were attacked for actually saying play for the bench. Imagine he was attacked. He's threatening a player saying play for the bench. Until Coach Rulani loses, and we've seen it in the group, when he lost, even Kolana started saying, our coach is toxic. But I rest.
Okay, thank you, Madume Kutso. Let me bring in Praesh. Ashwin Praesh, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Praesh, tell me about this situation. How do you feel about this whole thing that's happening?
Yeah, unfortunately, football, it's a game of emotions. So, when on my side, I will say that game was a very good game, and more like it's one of the best games, which I can say in the DSTV Premier League was played. It was a pound-to-pound game. It was a very beautiful game. I so wish we can watch such games more often. You understand? So I feel as if Rulani cannot accept at some point when he's getting one. Basically, let me say, Chess Galaxy was well prepared, and if you played football and if you understand football, when you go and get what you want, emotions at some point be like this.
Yeah.
However, I don't think Rulani was waiting for this because he always get away with things. 3 points each and every game we draw. You understand? Even if he the way he commented, he even said it was not a good game on his side. Unfortunately, their boys didn't allow the lose. They did what they fought back. It shows that he got a game. That's why it's not a good game on his side. You understand? Unfortunately, the behavior in the field, it was not pleasant. Understand? It was not a happy behavior. You understand? Bear in mind, we have to protect our football at the end of the day. You understand? The behavior, we have to protect our structure of football at all cost. You understand? So the behavior, I won't blame how he commented, Coach Nikovic, the way he commented. On my side, it was fine. It
Yeah.
was happy. You understand? When we are happy, you can say what you want. You understand? But then the problem is, I can say Coach Nikovic is a very good coach.
Oh, Ramovic.
Yeah, Ramo, yeah, he's a very good coach, number one. A coach who is able to work with the players which he has. It's a very good coach. You understand? I can say Sundowns is killing our football in South Africa, and it's been time now. Sometimes we have to rise it up. Each and every player has to be has to be bought when when you perform good on that season.
Yeah.
You have to be bought. There is Lodge who was taken from Pirates, and Pirates was a threat to what to Sundowns. Bear in mind, there was George Maluleke who was bought to Kaizer, who Kaizer Chiefs, where he was basically helping Chiefs to take the league at that time. You understand? So we have to understand that Sundowns is killing our football.
I'm gonna just bring you back to the coaching one, because that's a topic we've discussed before. I think I'd need to give it its own thing. So I think, can we just stick on the coaches? This
On
beef
the coaches,
thing.
nah?
Yeah, this beef
on my side, I will say the behavior on the field, because or it's but the behavior on the field was not okay. You understand? But then the comment which he said, it's true. Next time, if he has to beat him, he has to buy Mbappe, and if he comes back with the same attitude, with the same play, yes, he will beat Sundowns again.
Okay.
Because the tactics were very good at TX Galaxy. You understand?
Okay.
Giving a team which has proper players like Sundowns that kind of a match, it was me. Like, for example, I thought it's Al Ahly versus Sundowns. It's how I was seeing it. You understand? So the behavior was bad, because don't forget, there are kids who are watching. What is teaching the kids? You understand? So that's the problem. We won't tolerate such behavior in television.
For time's sake, Ashwin. For time's sake, Ashwin, I'm gonna jump in there. Let me bring to PK. PK, you've heard everybody speak. Welcome. I hope you are well. Tell me, what do you think about this whole situation?
Manje ulahano uthi. Yeah, so uthi great.
Man, not right. I've been watching you guys go at it.
Yeah, no. Let me start and greet everyone in the comment section, and you, Mr. OT. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Let me start by saying, look, you become personal in a level of public, it will water down your logic.
Yeah.
Even if you are performing well, there is something that we usually talk about, which is professionalism.
Yeah.
And Rulani have played. We were not starting to see team pressing like TS Galaxy. Stellenbosch have done that, but we never saw such behavior from Steve Barker. What really causes yesterday tension and this unprofessionalism, it's honestly personal, and it's not for the beneficial of PSL clubs. We know that, we Sundowns, we know that Rulani is not bigger than Mamelodi Sundowns, by the way.
Yeah.
But Rulani have worked. We cannot take credit away from that. And we have seen Sundowns. I'm not gonna engage in this thing of saying we are killing South African football. That thing it's an old story. I don't even want to go there. But I want to address something. OT. I want to address this thing of, sometimes we reason from a point of previous events that have happened.
Yeah.
We have seen the beef between Orlando Pirates and Kaizer Chiefs, and how it resulted. people lost lives in, I think it was Auckland. What was that stadium? Auckland
Ellis
Park.
Park.
Ellis
Ellis
Park.
Park. Mm.
And until we understood that football is an entertainment, and it's not necessarily about taking things personal to that level.
Yeah.
And we are not condoning such behavior, because that's how it starts. You run to the stairs, you run to people in the stadium, you hug them. The next thing, a Sundowns play or fan is next to those people, and he does something that you won't like,
Yeah.
right? And I'm not even wanting to go there. But what we saw yesterday, we can't. I want to talk about facts, man. OT. Let's engage facts.
Yeah.
We have heard this guy responding and saying Rulani said 1, 2, 3 through the conversation of a phone call, which cannot be proven. And I'm not speaking from a point as a Sundowns fan.
Yeah.
Right. I want to speak generally. And then here comes Rulani. He says, let this guy speak whatever you want to speak. He wants attention. Shem, he's been winning 5 games. Give him that airtime. And he quotes some media people, give this guy an airtime. We don't want to go there, right? And Rulani just leave it like that.
But PK, let's be also truthful. It started with Rulani being asked about whatever happened to Ramovic, and Rulani saying, yeah, you know me, I handle things over the phone. You know, I called him, I spoke to him directly. That is what I do, right? And I'm not saying that it was wrong to say it, but he cast himself in a different light. So when Sid Ramovic is now asked, Coach Rulani said he called you. And he goes, yeah, well, I was on the pass. He called me. This is what he said. Are we not then looking over the context of how that question came about?
No. I'm not disputing the fact. I'm saying it might have had happened. It might not have happened. Let's take it that it had happened. Let's take it. I know I'm not defending Rulani's behavior. Hear me right. I'm not defending Rulani's behavior. But this is football. We all have seen how this guy behaved yesterday. Even the hyper and man, we have seen Bo Paul Doleva, Bo Mochin Edgar celebrating, but you have seen how this guy have celebrated via his facial expression, how he have passed this Rulani and the technical team. It was uncalled behavior, as if he have won the game, and we are not disputing that thing. He can celebrate, but it has that. We can all read body language. We can all read body language, and I'm not trying to. If Rulani indeed said, "You came to my country, do you know the Motsepe family?" What? That was uncalled for, and we can't condone that thing. But I'm of saying, if this is the behavior where we want this thing, the PSL or the coaches to behave, it's wrong. Let's call it wrong, because it doesn't give you a reason for Ogoti kupula uzungu. Then the next game uzungu uyapula. Then we have to equate it right. Two wrongs doesn't make right. So it seems that you have something within you that you want to release, and you have released it, and you have proved point. And now you are coming and uttering Oguti, yeah, if you want to beat me, you have to buy Messi and Mbappe so that you can eat. That's a personal statement. Who's buying players here? Now, if you are generalizing views and facts of individualism, then it's wrong. Okay, we can't run away from that. Not at any point. Rulani said, "Yeah, team is always in the stadium. He beating the scoop there. It's a disrespect." He takes it personal. He solves it personal in a private matter, in a private space. But when publicizing a team management or technique, it's wrong.
But again, Rulani came out and said, King, he said he has it on good authority. There's somebody that he knows from TS Galaxy, the change room, that told him that Sid Ramovic said 1, 2, and 3. He said it publicly. So are we not excusing Urulani in this sense. And for me personally, I don't necessarily care too much about the stuff, but I feel as though Rulani is allowed to say things, and the reactions. Remember what I always say about the coaches, that if you go out into a press conference and say something that's going to provoke me, so not even badly, but you say something that I have to answer for, that means that when I go sit in the chair the following day, having not said anything, now I have to account to what people are saying you said about me. And in that moment, the responsibility is no longer on Rulani, it's now on me as to whether I will react. I will keep it fair, or I will keep it low-key, or I will attack. So I would much rather nobody say anything, or if everybody's going to say everything, then can we hold both of them accountable?
Mamila said, yeah, if you want to play Sundowns pound to pound, and he spoke a lot of things. But I never heard him personalizing that thing. He the context of how he was talking, it was off coach and generalism to say, me, I can go one-on-one, pound to pound with the players that I have, and I can win. And he came, and he never took it as a personal way, right? As a personal. Bruce have throwing true statement, and when I'm saying true statement, in the context of football, and we have seen it, to say, I can't take anyone from Kaizer Chiefs, for example, because they are not performing. And he will go and say, yeah, if Sundowns, their players are injured, they must also send doctor's letter so that I can see. I can tell to you, it's a fact. He is not taking it personal to the level of saying, yeah, if you have money, you are playing with 200 million players or 400 million players, then I can match you with the ones that I have grown. What are you saying?
But isn't the grown-up part of it that because Bruce mentioned Chiefs, right? He didn't have to. He could have just said, this is like, we've been through. We could have just said, look, this is my team. I've chosen my team. These are the best players for Bafana. It ends. But now when he goes, okay, Kaizer Chiefs, whatever, he mentions it, that means that tomorrow when Molefintseki is sitting down, he's going to have to account to that thing. And then he'll have to say, like Molefintseki was like, fam, he never spoke to me about it. I'm hearing this for the first time. I don't know what's going to happen, right? Now you've put it into my hands. And I think if we actually go back to the genesis of this whole thing, the beginning of this whole thing, it was throwaway comments. Guys, who cares that I don't have players? Who cares? All of that stuff. Then TS Galaxy insinuated it as, we didn't do any work in this game. You see it as though it was going to be a walkover if you had all of your players, and they had to defend. So this is why I'm like, are we not being unfair, Nyana, on both sides? Because I feel
let me set you free, OT. Let me set you free. Rulani have his arrogancy. He does. He have those punching lines. Who cares? Where else we know he's speaking to Safa. My 7 players right now, they are in FIFA, what. But let's look at again the context. Can we honestly say it was fair how the Safa
I'm not saying that.
Yeah,
that's why I'm like, it can be true. It can be true.
I'm just saying. Let's look at the context. I refuse to engage without context. I refuse to say if Rulani says who cares, then we want to weaponize that statement to say, yeah, he doesn't care because he is good, he has a good management and everything. What context was he speaking on when he says who cares? And what context of it that Ramon, this guy, Sid, is speaking on when he is saying Mr. Sunshine, Mr. Ignorance. At some point he said, yeah, Rulani is ignorant and I can't. What is the context?
Step 7. That's 2 angry coaches, because Rulani also said some other things to Ramovic before he came out and said, even Give him airtime, guys. Oh, he wants this thing. Give him the airtime, please. Remember that press conference. Now, if I'm Ramovich the next day and they come to me and I've heard that soundbite, can you be angry at me for being angry? Did Rulani handle that well? You get what I mean? So not being unfair nyana there, because even with the Safa thing, didn't Tim Sugazi, and all these things are legit, didn't Tim Sugazi come out and say, no, but we spoke to Mamelodi Sundowns and we asked them if they wanted to move the game and they didn't want to move the game. So then why then is your coach coming out and saying, who cares and what. There's many things here.
Okay, let's disqualify it. It's fine. I'm saying to you now, whenever we engage, let's engage with context. We cannot. All of us yesterday, we were like, I wonder what is happening. Why cameras are not turning into that thing? We want to see who's doing what. And we didn't get that thing. Why didn't we get it? Because it is not a good display of football. I am not defending Rulani. Rulani, to a point, I have seen when Rulani was going to the dressing room, he even went to the TS Galaxy fans, I don't know for what, and the technical team guy said to him, don't do that. If you have seen that clip, he took him and he went straight to the dressing room. But when he was passing, there were bottles that were flying there. What is it that is being promoted here? And when I'm talking about context, I'm talking about that thing. If it was Sundowns supporters who were throwing these bottles to this guy, I wonder why, by today maybe Sundowns could have been in court, emergency application for being hit by bottles, what. This guy is dramatic, man. OT. Let me summarize it like, Sid is just dramatic. Maybe Rulani dramatic is fine, but Sid is dramatic and he's not in our level. Maybe Ricky Bear Rutinga, he's not in our level. He must play like this for the whole season. He must play like this for the whole season. We will appreciate him to come back next season, play the way he have played with these emotions, and also adale kanjalo namagezi FC. Yes, imagezi izoyenza history foot. Makazale kanjalo.
Okay, PK, thank you. Look, guys, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying that, and the core of the question is very simple. Do we respond? I liked what Malume Kutso said about winning covers all things. But if we're being fair, we all understand the subtext and the context and all of this stuff that is said by coaches. And I think for me, it's not even the Rulani thing, because if you've watched the show, I've spoken about coaches before. I've spoken about this thing of coaches coming out and being reckless and then putting their recklessness on another person's plate. So now you come out and you say certain things, right? And then the other person has to respond the way that the gentlemanly way, right? And it becomes an issue. If we're being truthful, guys, if we're being truthful about all of this thing, it could have been handled simply behind closed doors by these two teams. It didn't have to spiral. Rulani says 1, 2, and 3 about who cares. This one takes it like this. They come together, they have each other's numbers, they sit down and they go, guys, I was talking to SAFA, I was talking to PSL management. Oh, we took it as you were saying this and you were saying that, right? So that is why we acted like this. Even yesterday, if we look at the context of it, yes, Sid Ramovich ran into fans and he did all of that stuff. But that guy from Sundowns chose to walk up to Sid Ramovich and do the face-to-face thing. Even at that moment, if you look at it, he walked away. He pointed at him and he walked away. That's how yesterday kicked off. So I don't want to make it seem as though, Ramovich celebrating or Rulani celebrating a lot. Rulani does what Sid Ramovich did in the celebrations a lot. 1-1 versus Kaizer Chiefs. Did you see Rulani? Did you see how he celebrated? Now, if it's wrong for Ramovic, is it wrong for Rulani? You know, but the crux of my thing, the crux of my thing is when we speak about these things, that sometimes feels as though some coaches can get away with it and some coaches can't. We speak about Hugo Bruce. Hugo Bruce talking about Kaizer Chiefs. He did not need to, is my point. Then he had to come back later on and say, I took Mulifintseki out for breakfast. I had to go speak to him. Why? Because you hadn't spoken to him before when you spoke out loud. Then you got the backlash. And now Unseki has to sit down and account and then decide how to react. You can't police my reactions once the thing is out there. And we know how our media operates. We know us, us the media. We know how we operate. So they're going to look for those things, the loopholes, the little things to try to catch them out. So this is why I'm like, hey, for me, let me see if I can't squeeze in some of my members. Guys, to be a member, these are the people I allow in at these times when the show is about to close and I give them some time. They contribute towards the show. If you want to be a member, go on over to YouTube, click on subscribe, click on join, and you'll become a member. In the members section, there's a WhatsApp group. The WhatsApp group has been going insane. So those people get to go out and come in at the end of the show so that they can speak. Let me go to Xolani. Xolani, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you very much, Mr. Oti. Greetings to my members and also my section, Mr. Oti. Sibonga for isikhathi.
Uyibona njani lento, this whole thing, Xolani?
Yeah, Mr. Oti, first of all, I'd like to blame the Pirates for the attitude because now we ask Mr. Oti if you could beat an OG Ekasi, you tend to think you can beat anyone. So so yeah, I blame Pirates, Mr. Oti, and also Kaizer Chiefs, Mr. Oti, because yeah, abantu to about South Africa, and also my two said, Mr. Oti, I think we're blaming the wrong guys.
Okay.
We're blaming the wrong guys, Mr. Oti.
Yes. Yeah.
Me, I'll blame Ubab Team Sogas. Take an agent and give him a team. He will sell everything. He will sell his dietitian. He will sell his coach. He will sell his players. Because Lomundilo, he's an agent. Remember when Usea came into the country? First thing he said, this guy has a UEFA Pro license. Young Todd. And the next thing, Mr. Oti, the example is over relevant to everyone. He come up Casper, he had to diss the number one rapper in South Africa, of which it was the late AKA against Mr. Oti.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what's all the attention, young son? So this time around, team, what's okay? Who's the best team in South Africa? What's Sundowns? Yeah, so it happened. Rulani might be speaking to Isafa, and then Ubab team saw the opportunity. What's okay? As in, let's get the attention of South Africa, and how about we respond to Rulani and try and make everything about us. Yeah, and another thing, whenever who said commenter, the team is always by his side. Remember, there was an interview after. I remember the interview after they had an accident, Mr. Usi, where we SAPC, and he also who said also continue to talk about Rulani, and his boss actually said nothing, Mr. Oti. I'm correct, even though what he said was true, but Mr. Oti, like I also blame Nami. I don't condone what Rulani is doing, because when we know Rulani Uti, like Isan Dawana said that Kain Uti is chatara sometimes. I mean, our fellow Sandawana at Lobsters almost gave him a slap, like Mr. Oti. Why? Because he pulled the middle finger on our supporters. So into yakhe ikhona lento yakurulana ukuthi uyeyisa. But Mr. Oti, I still maintain ukuthi uBratim as an owner, as umuntu responsible for image PSL, kumele ngabe aka-entertain lento yasiyenza. And also Sundowns you should put ulokhuzana uRulani in his way and tell him ukuthi okay, we don't want you to put our name into disrepute. But Mr. Oti, as I said before, if you are a hustler, you'll always be a hustler, Mr. Oti. And knowing very well ukuthi there's a big team in South Africa that needs to coach. So you'll try by all means ukuthi you always keep this guy my headlines.
Marcolani, to be fair, Lendaba Itale first round calling knockout. Guys.
Calling knockout, yes. That's what I'm saying, Mr. Oti. as you've just said, Urulani was talking to Isafa. He was actually renting to Isafa. But Mr.
No,
Oti,
but you know, do you know what, Netland? Mina, I don't know that Rolando was talking to Safa. I don't want to say that because I think I would be implying, and I don't, on both sides. That's why I say, Uramovic, they took it completely wrong, Bona. But Urlani and I saying it like that in the heat of the moment, again, now I have to account for this thing and I have to choose. I have to be the one to choose whether to be defensive or to be attacking or to be gentlemanly in my reply. So I don't want to assume. I don't know who Rulani was talking to. I don't think he cleared it up. So now I don't want to give him any benefit of the doubt. Boy two.
Oti, just to remind you, after post-match interview, Urulani first said, congratulations to TS Galaxy. They played well. They give us hard time. And then...
Bad.
Yes.
Yeah, Uramovic Angiti last night said Mamelodi Sundowns is an amazing team. Their management, their players. Angiti started like that night.
No. I can't Mr. Oti.
Didn't he say it? No, Sundowns is an incredible team. The management over there is amazing. The structures are... Didn't he say that though?
He said Sundowns. Yes, Mr. Oti.
Yeah.
Urulani didn't say TS Galaxy. Urulani didn't say TS Galaxy denied him a chance to reshuffle the fixture. I'm calling Mr. Oti. So, I can show Mr. Oti.
But then Ushilo, he's talking to Safa.
No, he didn't say. But he did, what I'm saying, he didn't say Safa. He didn't say Chess Galaxy.
That's why he did.
But Izolo said Sundowns needs to buy Mbappe, Messi, and Ronaldo.
Yeah. Angithi, you are making the point Kuturu Lankale Gahle versus ETS Galaxy. Now I'm saying Uramovic said some nice things about Sundowns.
Oti.
Here's the truth though.
But Mr. Oti, Urulani didn't mention any name. Who said mention our name? But all in all, Mr. Oti, I still play Matabatala. I still play Matabatala Orlando. I still play Matabatala Naturena. They are the reason why this guy is feeling himself now.
Okay.
He beat Orlando Pirates the previous week, and I must say they deserve to be beaten. And also,
okay. Hey, man.
I'm going to podcast Mr. Oti. So
I know.
Problem.
The media is thankful that you came on.
Yes, you must account also.
No, thank you, Tolani. Look, I think I'm going to end it here. Guys, the whole point of this is not to be against Rulani or for Ramovic or against Ramovic. I just feel like at times when we have these conversations, we forget, as PK says, about the context of the whole thing, right? So all of these actions can be viewed from context. Ramovic jumping into the fans. Yes, It was probably a show to Rulani, but this is now week. I don't know how much of their feud, right? All in all, for me, I enjoy it. I like having the coaches that have personality. I like having coaches that come out and do something. The only issue again is that for me, don't have this attitude and drive and focus and want to play for 3 games in the season because you guys have beef. Have the same attitude for every single game that you're going to play. I said the same thing about the Kaizer Chiefs, for example, and Orlando Pirates. We saw in the derby, you have tactics, you have players, they have skills. But if they only show up for 2 games in the season on Chiefs' side, then what's the point of everything else? Where you give Mamelodi Sundowns credit is that they have been consistent for the whole season. 53 games now, where they're not taking anything for granted. They're playing every game, they're winning winning and throwing every game, they're unbeaten. So that is the team that is focused. But at least we know that Rulani will get into personal beef fine. They'll do whatever they do personally in the beef, but he's still focused for the rest of the season. When Rulani is arrogant, he's not arrogant one game of the season. He's arrogant for all of them. He's well prepared for all of them. Manje labo coach bethu giving speeches. Uramovich was giving a speech, it's a Super Bowl final. It's Super Bowl. He's in the finals. He's in whatever. He's giving this impassioned speech. Where was that passion 7 games ago? Where was that passion all of those games ago? And that is where I feel like sometimes they're acting. But what I wanted to say, Uprastomi, Bongi, in the members area, there's the link for the WhatsApp group. What I wanted to say was the reason why today I had to go against Rulani is because somebody needed to speak up for the context of the other side. So if I am a coach that just beat the best team in the country, right? Penalties, whatever you want to call it, and their coach comes out and speaks in a way that insinuates that we only won because 1, 2, and 3, which could be true. I can understand him taking it that way. My issue, and I will say the big issue here is Tim Sugazi, as Koran said, Tim Sugazi should not be on that pitch. Should not be arguing there. You don't see Utopi on the pitch. And if there's anything, you expect there to be grown-ups there to say, okay, as with Tim Sugazi, I am unhappy with Sundowns. And we sit down. We've heard before that Rulani's gotten into trouble. He said it on one of his press conferences that he doesn't want to say too much because he's gotten into trouble internally. So even they know inside. So where coaches can go there and where players can go there, we can't have leaders of teams going there too. We can't have that. We can't have him on the pitch also arguing. If you're going to lodge the case outside. If you're going to speak to the other chairman, speak to the other chairman, figure it out that way. And then lastly, I just feel as though, guys, it's like we're allergic. We're allergic to coaches that are outspoken. I don't know how Mourinho would do here. I don't know how Alex Ferguson would do here. I don't know how any of these coaches would do here. Personally, I like this, not necessarily from the beef side, but for once, man, Kesizobo coach showing us something. Most of you here, let's be honest, do you know what John Maduka's voice sounds like? All of the coaches that are there, we don't know what their motivations are. They don't show it. They don't have any fight. About Pablo Franco Martin, same situation. Rulani went into the second half of went into halftime having fought Rulani. Amazulu came out and played. Can they play on a random Wednesday? Can they play on a random Tuesday? Can they play when they have to go play Chippa United? This is what I'm crying for. But if they can show us more personality, it doesn't necessarily have to be personal. It doesn't necessarily have to be all of that. I don't mind the shots, but where this thing is going, and now random Sundowns people are jumping at Kimang, Sid Ramovic, this side, Tsugazi's on the. Nah, let's not go that far. But a healthy rivalry is good. I think the coaches need to exude more of this because it gave us a game yesterday. Yes, Galaxy played out of their skins because they were angry or whatever the situation is and the history they have with Mamelodi Sundowns. That was, I think we can all agree, that was an incredible game. We just want to see more of that. Anyway, guys, Monday to Thursday, 7 p.m. I am here. So if you have not followed, please follow right now. If you want to watch any of the previous episodes, it's not just the reviews of matches. We also talk about big topics around football and what's happening in football, our football and African football. So if you want to catch that and watch any of the previous episodes, they're available on YouTube in full, as well as other content that I drop on that side. This conversation has been going for a while in our group. I think since yesterday, we've sent a lot of messages back and forth about this and other topics. That WhatsApp group is an incredible place, right? If you want to be part of that and be part of the memberships, go on over to YouTube, click on subscribe, click on join. In the members area, there's a link to the WhatsApp group. Another perk of being in the WhatsApp group is that Fridays, the group decides what topic we're going to speak about, and it's the members show. So the members decide the topic, they speak. So you'll hear audio from our WhatsApp group. You'll be able to watch the show like you're doing it here, but you won't be able to interact. That is a perk that I have for them. Those are people, Bo PK, Bo Tolani, Bo Malume Kutso, Bo Agent, Bo Kumo, Bo Velile. All of those people are in that group. We have some of the best conversations about football. So please don't miss out. Go on over to YouTube, click on subscribe, click on join, and you'll be able to come in. Guys, it's been real. It's been a good convo. I'll see you guys then tomorrow at 7 p.m. Bye, guys. Oh, before I say bye, hey, MK, Rio, Super Sfuba, Lulu the boss lady, MK, Malume Kutso, Kolani Malibongwe, Bongi Velile Kumo. Thank you so much for the gifts. And also special shout out over there on YouTube to Bongani Mchisi, who also sent my first super chat on that side. It's a super chat, 60 Rand. Thank you so much, my guy. It really does help keep everything here. Where else do you get this, guys? There? You're not listening to former players and other people and former coaches. We get to have the conversations ourselves. But in any case, bye everybody. I'll see you tomorrow, 7 p.m. It's the media signing off.